has been like for me being out as trans in South Dakota. Elementary school, middle school, and high school, we're hell on earth, just like for any other person. I mean, you know, being picked on, I got called he, she, I got called it. Teachers looked at me weirdly. I always heard about parents coming to school saying, why is my daughter hanging out with a boy that thinks he's a girl? You know, being put in awkward situations where I wanted to, you know, maybe play on the girls' volleyball team and I didn't have that opportunity and I wasn't going to ask. I met Tamara about a year or so ago. I was a young trans woman. I was at a place in my life where I wanted to start transitioning, and I really didn't know what opportunity was out there for me to transition. Tamara had all of these resources for me.
Nobody else had been doing any transgender advocacy work in our state. There weren't really any out transgender people in the state at all. I saw that there was a clear need for somebody in the trans community to finally stand up and basically stick their neck out and, you know, go public.
When I initially started this whole entire activist thing, I really went into it, honestly, on a selfish type way, because I only was looking towards things that would make it better for me. And I've learned that there's a lot of people out there that are struggling more than just trying to find hormones.
South Dakota could soon become the first state in the country to ban transgender students from using the bathroom that corresponds to their gender identity. On Tuesday, the South Dakota State Senate passed a measure mandating that restrooms and locker rooms used by public school students, quote, shall be designated for and used only by students of the same biological sex, unquote.
There's been repeated attempts to get that policy repealed or changed. You know, we've been fighting that battle pretty much steadily.
And I think the biggest thing, and this is what I've stressed the most about all of this, is these sports, like sports for anyone else, are meant to be there to build you up. And when we start like challenging just some of the things they said, like that, you know, like just really dissecting our bodies and making it so much about our bodies, and that's really what they've done to us when it comes to a lot of anything, a bathroom bill, you know, the sports policy. It always comes down to our bodies.
Because a lot of people in our state live in small communities, and they've probably never met a transgender person, most knowingly at least. And we feel that it's really important to get the message out that we're just human beings like everybody else. One of the things I really envision for the future in our state for the LGBT and especially for the transgender community is working on educating the public in particular about transgender issues, and that's something that I really look forward to, you know, being part of.
What's making me stay here is exactly what I'm doing right now, like helping people help themselves and giving people the things that I didn't have initially. And people don't really think, you know, that there's a place for, you know, GLTB folks in South Dakota, like whoever thinks that. So, you know, kind of pushing that out there. There's still a lot more work to do. Like, I feel like there's still so much more work to do, and there has to be more people visible besides just me and Tamara. There has to be more people who want to come forward and be like, hey, this is who I am, because that's the only way that, like, we're going to open South Dakota's Midwest, you know, eyes.